met your goals consistently in the last 4 years, can you type 1? If you have not met it in the last 4 years, can you type 2? Okay, I am seeing 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Everywhere is 2. Now, thank you very much for you guys being brutally honest. Okay, I saw 1. That's the first one I would see, but everybody's writing 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Now, let me tell you what's going on here. I was like you 5 years ago, and I'll tell you my story. So 5 years ago, I was doing, it was watch night service in Nigeria, and I was going to lift, I've written my goals for the year, and I was going to lift it up to pray about it in church on the 31st. And I felt a voice ask me a question. Where was the one you lifted up the previous year? Honestly, I didn't know where it was. Then the voice asked, where was the one you lifted up 2 years before? I didn't know where it was. So consistently, I had making a habit of writing goals and not planning to achieve it. Then the voice told me clearly, and I will say that with brutal honesty, you will never meet your goal next year if you don't change something as a matter of urgency, QED. You would realize that it wasn't for lack of prayer that you have not been meeting your goal. The problem is there was a lack of the required action that can lead in the direction of your goal. And I'm going to take you through an audit very soon that will show you clearly why you are not meeting your goal. Because once that is clear, then how to begin to meet your goals will become clear to you. Many of us are very emotional about our life. You defer to other people. You talk about other people. You do the bidding of other people, but you do not do the bidding that can deliver your life. So you are very emotional. I am where exactly I wanted to be. I planned to be last year. Anybody close to me will tell you. I told them I would be working in the US. I'll be setting up a company in the US this year. That's exactly where I am. Now, so it's not, if you check my 10-year goal last year, 10 years before, you will see Canadian flag there. You will see American flag in there, right? And everything I plan to achieve in there, it had come to pass. Now, so what has happened that was that 5 years ago, I changed the way I was setting my goals and realized that it wasn't the goal, it was me. That I should never name my year until I knew my present state. And that many of the things I wanted to achieve, especially financial goal, the problem was my social life was dead. Meanwhile, all the deals I needed to strike were in the social circle. So I spent more time in the religious places. There is nothing wrong with that. If my goal was to be a pastor, or my goal was to be maybe more religious, that's fine. But that wasn't my goal. So my action was sabotaging what I should have achieved. So if you check, you name your year. So many of you, your year was named for you. You plugged into what you didn't understand. There was no parameter for measurement, and you are almost going to do the same this year. I hope you will be like Ayo this time next year. Your story would have totally changed. Now, the next 10 years, this year is year 2 of the next 10 years, right? Okay, next year is year 2 of the next 10 years. Is the decade of tribes and teams. You need to know that clearly. If you don't know this, you will suffer the consequence. That's why in America, they are talking more about metaverse. They are talking about NFT. If you want to make money, they're talking about coin and metaverse and NFT. That's what the younger people are talking about, right? Some people have not had NFT before. Some people have not had metaverse before. Yet it's a different ball game, a different world. People are already picking offices there. People are already setting up galleries there. People are making insane money in there. Some people are not even aware. It's left behind series. Because we are at that stage in life when we are going back to the year when internet used to be the mainstay, right? When internet first started and people said, oh, don't use the internet, but it has become a mainstay for us. Now, if you have people who should be in this class and they can't be there, you can send them the link and get them to join. Now, it's going to be the next 10 years, next 9 years now, because 1 year is already gone, is the decade of tribes and teams. Now, A tribe has been defined as a group of people with a common ancestry, culture, and live in their own enclosed society. So if you don't belong to a tribe, and I'm not talking about Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, and whatever. No, you need to be in control of the tribe that you belong, because wealth is passed from families. Now, a tribe is a group of people with a common cause that they have chosen to pursue together in creating a space for themselves, thereby deploying every available resources to promote a narrative that makes their culture acceptable to our world. Now, there are 6 things that define a tribe. If you can't find yourself, if your tribe doesn't have element of this 6, forget it. You don't have a tribe. How you know you have a tribe is this. If you say you are a Yoruba man and you get kidnapped and the Yoruba nation does not stand for you to get you back home, whether by paying money or by going to fight the enemies that kidnapped you, then you don't have any tribe, because you just have a tribe in words. You don't have a tribe in action. Now, so number 1, a tribe must have a united cause born out of a shared history of past pain or victories. That's number 1. Number 2, every tribe must have a language and a religion that governs their belief system. Number 3, every tribe has a shared sense of belonging and superiority that stands them out from others and come with benefits. That if you say you are an American, that's what it means. American means you can get into 180 countries almost visa-free. If you say you are a Canadian, it means you can get to about 182 countries visa-free or something like that. If you say you are a Japanese, it means you can get to over 160 countries visa-free. If you say you are Nigerian, it means you can get to maybe about 23 countries, or mostly West African countries, visa-free. Now, it means that no matter your intelligence, you are going to be defined by the tribe you have chosen to align to. Now, let me say this carefully. God's agenda is for you to be born into this world, to get on this planet. What happens from thence is a matter of choice. So don't let anybody tell you this is the best version of you that God can create, because as at the time you were born, if you had been taken over, kidnapped by a Chinese parent, and they have taken you to China, you won't believe what you believe today. You won't be who you are right now. You may not even be in this meeting because you won't even understand English. So your life would have been completely different if you were not born where you were born, or if someone else has taken over your life from the time you were born. If you were born into the British royal family, there are things you will never believe. There are instructions you will never respond to. There are perspectives about God that will not be on your radar at all. There are meetings they will invite you for. You will not go because you know it's beneath your capacity. Are you still with me? Number 3, every tribe has a shared sense of belonging. And okay, I've talked about that. Number 4, every tribe has got a unique and identifiable culture promoted by media and art, which promotes a standard of living. I take Uber around America. I see the Uber drivers play whiskey. And I'm wondering, why is Nigeria not maximizing this? Why is government not leveraging on our arts and culture to create an experience across the globe about Nigeria? So you must have an identifiable culture. The LGBT has got that. Islam has got that. Catholic Sikhism has got that. The Japanese have that. The Indians have that. Let me shock you. Almost all the Fortune 500 companies have an Indian CEO. That is not a coincidence. How are Indian children raised? What is the educational system that is producing that output? It is garbage in, garbage out. If you don't put in the input, the output will not show. Number 5, every tribe has got the legend that is consistently repeated till it becomes true and real. And number 6, every tribe has got a behavior and attitude that shows up in their norms, including what they accept, reject, even eat or not eat. So whenever I'm here and people define me by Nigeria, and they try to say that, oh, Nigeria is bad, you know what I said to them? I'm a descendant of a generation that built the best city in the world. Ever before UK, ever before Germany had street light, Benin City had street light. That was before, between 1400 and about 1500. So that's how I introduce myself, because I cannot introduce myself by the misbehavior of the present leaders when I have an ancestry that is not taught in our school. Now, the people in Benin City, they were visionary. They built a wall. It took them over 10 million, 100 million, 10 million hours, to build that wall. That wall stood for 400 years. You need to know your history. Now, that's how I introduce myself. And that gives me the confidence that I'm from a generation of an empowered people, of visionary people. My dark skin doesn't mean dark brain. I have what America needs, and I'm going to offer based on competence. That is why I tell people, don't call me an immigrant. Call me an expatriate. Because when the whites come to Africa, we don't call them immigrants. We call them expatriates. We call them slave masters. So you cannot call me an immigrant simply because I am here. Because I got a brain. I'm not here to beg. I'm here to solve a problem. So you need to understand the 6 dynamics. If your tribe does not have this, what you might want to do is to now look for another tribe and become a part of the tribe. Because if you are not part of a tribe, a lot will happen and you will not be a beneficiary. Question is, what tribe do you belong? And what benefits have you received from your tribe? Your tribe can be a mosque, it can be a church, it can be a group, it can be a professional group, but there must be benefits. You must have a say. You must have a sense of belonging. They must be able to bail you out. They must be able to create opportunities for you. I've got a tribe. Every time there's an opportunity, I think of them first, right? I give them jobs. We give ourselves jobs, we recommend ourselves. That is how tribes work. The LGBT has shown us that there is a way to create a tribe from scratch and push your tribe against all odds. Now, we all have the right to create that, and you can always stay in the side of the divide wherever you want to be. Now, let me say this. Those that have chosen to collaborate, to build a tribe with a clear agenda and systems will majorly become the relevant groups in the next 10 years. Write today's date down, right? While those who are either emotional about their tribes or have chosen to go alone may struggle. You no longer need to go alone. You see, if you come to any nation of the world and you see the Indians, the only place the Indians compete against themselves is within their country. Every time they go to another country, they collaborate to have a space and they collaborate to share wealth. Indians do it, Jews do it, Japanese do it, the Emiratis do it, Africans don't do it. Because African, we bring the fight from home to diaspora and we keep fighting ourselves. Question is, what tribe do you belong? Based on this definition, do you think you have a tribe? It's a yes and no. Can you answer the question in the chat box? Based on the definition so far, do you have a tribe? Do you think, honestly, that you have a tribe? Based on those 6 parameters, can I see your yes or your no on the chat box? Okay, so people are saying no, 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 right? So it just shows that when people say, oh, I belong to one tribe, I belong to one tribe, it's not totally correct because your tribe must stand for you when the chips are down. Your tribe must spread their wings and position you. They must think about you first. Your tribe must not tolerate incompetence. They must promote competence and they must ensure that the highest standard is delivered at every point in time. Now, so this is the first thing you need to master. Now, so let me say this to you. Where you are today is exactly where you strategized to be 10 years ago, based on the tribe you chose to consciously or unconsciously belong to. Whether you think you are in a tribe or not, there is a group you belong to. So whether they force you in, or you force yourself in, or you had a voice that told you this is where you must be, is a choice. I used to be in Ajegunle. It was a choice. When I moved out of Ajegunle, it was a choice. When I was walking around Nigeria, it was a choice. When I moved out, it was a choice. You are not a submission of what you have heard. It is more about what you choose to believe, what you choose to do daily, and who you choose to go on life's journey with. Please note that, right? Where you are is a function of the decisions you took 10 years ago, right? And that is the clearest way to say this. I'm not going to mince words with you, right? So the question is, what have you chosen to believe? Who have you chosen to go on a daily journey with? I mean, I'm running a class, it's a 13-week coaching program. It's called Alien, Human Engineering Programming, helping people reprogram their life. We did an audit and it was clear that people are taking beliefs, installing a belief that can never deliver the outcome simply because their parents imposed it on them or their leaders imposed it on them. They believe they are leaders, but their leader is not their life. They are not going in the same direction. How do you use my belief to get to where you need to get to. When you have a different belief, that when there is a new belief or there's an actual belief for where you want to go. These are the critical things you need to understand. Now, within the next 10 years, the most critical skill you will need is the power of intentional networking, built on the power of tribe. You need to now network intentionally. You now need to choose tribes intentionally. And you can't afford to belong to too many tribes, because there are too many tribes where people profit off you without you knowing. By the time you are 70, it will become clear to you. You'll be asking yourself, how did I spend my 70 years? Those that understand the rules of superior relationships, connection, and collaboration will survive whatever financial crisis